The sound of scraping paws echoed through the empty streets. A quiet night interrupted only by the rhythmic tapping of a woman's boots on the sidewalk. Grace, a young pregnant woman, paused as she felt a familiar presence behind her. Slowly turning, she saw the same street dog, his fur matted and worn, his eyes gleaming in the streetlight. Night after night, the dog had followed her home, never getting too close, but never too far. At first it was merely an oddity, just a stray seeking warmth or scraps. But tonight was different. The dog's steady gaze held something deeper, something unsettling. Grace had heard the stories, how street dogs could sense things beyond human understanding. But as the days went on, something told her that this dog wasn't following her for food or comfort. Something was about to change, and the truth of it was far more bizarre than anything Grace could have imagined. As she continued her walk, Grace's thoughts turned darker. What if the dog was leading her somewhere? What if he knew something that no one else did? The dog never barked, never made a sound, just followed her step for step until that fateful night when everything unfolded. One evening, as Grace rounded a corner near her home, she saw something that made her blood run cold. The dog wasn't just walking behind her now. He was standing in front of her, blocking her path. His eyes were no longer just curious but filled with urgency. His ears were back, his body tense. Something was wrong, but she couldn't understand why he was so fixated on her, and then she saw it. A car, dark and unmarked, pulling slowly toward her. For a split second, Grace froze. The man inside the car wasn't looking at her. His eyes were trained on something else, something hidden in the shadows. The dog's growl broke the silence like a warning. Grace was just about to take a step backward when the dog lunged toward the car, barking furiously. The man behind the wheel slammed his foot on the gas, but it was too late. The dog had already pulled at the door, sinking his teeth into the metal. With a ferocious strength that Grace could hardly believe, the dog had saved her from the danger that was just beginning to close in. As the car sped away, Grace stood trembling, trying to process what had just happened. She hadn't realized that the dog had been protecting her all along, but what made it even more shocking was the realization that this was no ordinary street dog. The truth, as she would soon learn, was far stranger than she could ever have imagined. It was revealed later that the dog, named Rocky, had once belonged to an old woman who lived in the neighborhood. After the woman passed away, the dog wandered the streets, lost and alone, but never truly abandoned. What Grace didn't know was that the woman had been deeply involved with a local criminal network, a secret she had kept hidden until her death. Rocky, having witnessed everything, had been silently guarding Grace from the shadows, his loyalty driven by a bond stronger than any human connection. The revelation hit the entire neighborhood like a shockwave. The dog they had all dismissed as a mere stray had been more than just a protector. He had been a silent guardian, watching over Grace and her unborn child, ensuring they were safe from harm. The truth was more than anyone could have guessed, and it left the entire community in awe of the dog's unspoken loyalty. And so, Rocky became more than just a stray. He was a hero. His nightly patrols continued, but now they were no longer unnoticed. The neighborhood, once indifferent to his presence, now viewed him with the deepest respect and gratitude. In the end, Grace gave birth to a healthy baby, with Rocky by her side every step of the way. Their bond was one of silent understanding, and the truth behind the dog's watchful eyes had left an indelible mark on the community, reminding everyone that loyalty and love could come in the most unexpected forms.